and welcome to the Sarah Jane Diaries, and I am Sarah Jane. So today this diary is actually about bipolar, my drugs, and the symptoms that I found happened to me along my journey. I've been suffering from bipolar now for about 10 years. It started when I was in my early teens, late teens, and it's carried on, obviously. I never actually found out I had bipolar until this year, but now that I actually look back on my life, you can see how much bipolar hindered me. I have like no friends, literally no friends, because I have been so clingy or bitchy. No one knows how to take me from day to day. I think my mother and father-in-law, they kind of take a step back until I talk to them, and if I don't talk to them, they won't try to talk to me. So that's how people have had to take me, which really sucks, but that's the way I am. So on a good day, I will be all woohoo. On a bad day, I'll be like, don't even look at me. And I'll shut myself in my room, lay in bed, watch TV. Just don't piss me off that day. Let's just put it that way. So the drugs. Now, the drugs that I am on are mood stabilizers and also Effexor, which is to treat major depressive disorders like bipolar or major depression. So I think I said the name Effexor. That's the drugs that I'm taking. They have affected me to the extent that I'm tired all the time. I think it's the mood stabilizers. You get used to the tiredness, but geez, it's really hard. You have to keep yourself going to make yourself like wide awake. Otherwise, if you sit in bed, you'll just sleep all day. You'll never get out, and you get depressed because, well, you can't move because you're tired all the time. I have 3 kids, so it's kind of essential that I'm out of bed, and it's really hard when you're tired. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about if you suffer from bipolar and you're on drugs to help your bipolar symptoms. The emotions and mood swings and even the mania and depression, they have improved a lot. I still suffer from them. I'm not going to lie to you and say I'm cured, but they're tolerable. Like my family members, I'm a lot more stable. I was like this. It was like a roller coaster living with me. I swear my husband was going to divorce me if something wasn't done, because we didn't know what was wrong with me. He just thought it was women. He thought, oh my God, my wife is psycho. If this is what a woman is like, I do not want to be with one. Maybe he thought about being gay, I don't know. But anyway, the drugs have, I'm going stable. So it's good. It's good for life. Good for me. I have been able to find some friends that will forgive me for how I was. I go, listen, I didn't realize, but I had bipolar, and this is the reason why I have gone nuts, like literally gone nuts. I don't know what I can tell you about it. My symptoms, maybe I should get to that, because now I have covered that the drugs that I'm taking have made me pretty much stable. Now the symptoms, oh geez. Okay, the first symptom which popped its ugly head up was when I was at the end of high school. I honestly thought I was just working really hard at high school, and you know, it was making me really depressed and sleep so much. I mean, I was asleep, I think, more than I have ever been in my whole life through year 12 and 11. I'll go to bed at 7 o'clock. I will even go to bed when I would have even gone to bed, like when I got home off the bus. I'll just sleep. And on a Saturday or Sunday, instead of, going out with your mates and stuff, I thought it was better just to sleep all day. So I would eat, sleep, maybe do a little bit of homework and sleep some more. And that's the way my life was. And I thought it was normal. Like, everybody is sleeping and doing their homework and eating or studying or whatever. And that's what I did for the whole 2 years. I didn't get great grades because I was tired all the time and just so depressed. And I didn't realize it was depression. I just thought it was tiredness. It wasn't until after I had my first child that I realized I was going nuts. I really was. My emotions were everywhere. The doctors kept on telling me that I had postnatal depression. I wasn't caring for my son as well as I should have, which is a symptom of postnatal depression. But I was going crazy. Like, I would go nuts at my husband for no reason. My moods would swing. I'll be happy one second and then really, really bad mood the next second. And it was like a roller coaster. My husband was so unhappy, I believe. And yeah, I was put on drugs for postnatal depression. I did start feeling better. I still had the highs and lows. To fix my low, I would actually seek guys' attentions, tell them, to send photos of me half nude or something, and they'll be like, oh, you're so hot. I'll get off on people telling me I was hot. And, what am I out of 10? They would say 7 or 8. And I'm like, oh, cool. Because no one ever commented or dated me in high school. I always felt like I was a 2 or a 1. But all of these guys were like, whoa, you were in our high school class and we didn't see you. You're really pretty now and stuff like that. And that used to get me really high. It just really happy. From my low, I'll get to my high. And that's how I would get along. Even when I was being treated for the depression, the postnatal depression, I was still having highs and lows that needed to be obviously stimulated. Anyway, finally when I finished the drugs, I had my second child, and they just thought, again, it was postnatal depression. All of the pregnancy hormones just, up and down. Your brain doesn't have the pregnancy hormone anymore, so you're just balmy. But it wasn't. Obviously, duh. I think there was obviously other stuff that I just can't think of at the moment, other symptoms. But the main ones were being promiscuous and the highs and lows. So being depressed, I could be depressed for a couple of weeks, and then suddenly I'll be so high and happy and weird. People will be like, ew, what's wrong with her? And honestly, I wouldn't sleep at night. I was just so high. It was unbelievable. It's like if you drink 10 cups of coffee in an hour, you're just like, ooh. That's the way I was. Believe me, you don't want to be around someone who's like that. So, when I finally had my last child, that's when it hit me. Something's definitely wrong, because instead of being promiscuous, because I was married and my husband was going to leave me for my last promiscuous thing, which I don't blame him. I would have kicked his ass to the curb if he did what I did. I started shopping, and the shopping gave me a high. So I started buying lots and lots and lots of pairs of shoes. So many heels. I think I had 60 pairs of heels in the end. And I spent about over $4,000 or $5,000 on shoes. And this was in a period of 6 months. Now, I don't know whether you guys know what Centrelink is, but I was on Centrelink, and believe me, you cannot afford to spend that much. I had to get Centrelink loans. I would get the tax before my husband, and I'll just spend it all and say, I'll pay you back. I'll sell some of my shoes that I don't want. Yeah, right. It didn't happen. So yeah, we knew. Oh, and gambling. I did gamble for a while. I don't know, in bipolars, you don't have control. One, you don't have control, and two, you don't have, it's like you don't have a conscience. Like, you don't know, at that moment, you're blinded to the truth, to what's really happening. You're actually blinded. You don't know it's wrong until afterwards when, like, for instance, I buy a pair of shoes because I'm on my low wanting a high. I buy them, and then a few minutes later will sink in, oh crap, I've got that Telstra bill, or I've got that electricity bill that needed to be paid, and I just spent all of that money on a new pair of shoes. Well, the high will continue for a couple of days, and then I'll need to buy something else. So I'll buy myself, you know, a new dress, or I'll buy myself some new knickers, you know, or a new cup, or a handbag. I'm into handbags now. You know, I'll just buy something to make myself happy, and then I'll receive my shoes, and I'll just be ecstatic about them for a second, and then, you know, I post a picture on Facebook with the shoes, and then I'll forget about the shoes. I have to buy some more for the high. So I knew there that I had a problem, and if I didn't get that problem fixed, I was going to lose my family, my husband, everyone that I cared about, because it was so bad. So anyway, I went to many, many doctors, and they just said, you have an addiction, you know, like a gambling addiction, a drug addiction, it's just an addiction. You just have to stop. Well, I couldn't, because if I didn't, I wouldn't get my high. So anyway, when I finally moved, I live in a place called Adelaide, which is in Australia. I actually saw someone who knew exactly what I had, and I got diagnosed on the spot. And yeah, as I said, the drugs have made me stable, so there is no expensive buying. I still do buy things, like this bag here cost me $35, but that's all I was allowed to buy for that fortnight. So instead of paying $400 out for shoes and not paying the bills, I now have a certain amount that I'm set to be allowed to spend, and I can spend that amount, and I'm fine with that. Whereas with the untreated bipolar, oh my god, I would have went anyway. I would have sold the car. I would have sold my kids probably to get the money to be able to buy something. So yes, stable in the sense as my symptoms are more tolerable for everyone around me. I do not drive everyone crazy as much. And by the way, I'm missing out probably a lot of other symptoms that I've suffered from, but they are the few top symptoms which got me a diagnosis. So anyway, I love you, my loves, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.